Hey everyone, it's Phil from Ashland Leather. Got some brand new Bison Leather wallets to show you today. This is American Bison and it's a brand new product from Horween. This is a product that they call Yellowstone. So before we get into the Bison, let me show you just a quick look at some of the private stock stuff that we're dropping today. We've got this brand new charcoal black naturally shrunken Bison in 3 different styles. There's the Bugs Moran, also have the Capone Money Clip. We also have the Fat Herbie. And we have another color of Bison. This is called Bourbon. And we have the Bourbon in 3 different styles. This is the Bugs Moran. We also have the Capone Money Clip. We also have the Fat Herbie in the Bourbon. And I have a couple lucky card holders. This is the Armagnac Shell Cordovan. We also have one in a brand new psychedelic shell cordovan. There's a Vic Snap Wallet, also in psychedelic shell. And the smallest item last is a black shell cordovan BLK Lighter sheath. It's got a hand stitching on it. Let's get into the brand new Bison Leather from Horween. This is a new color and we're calling it charcoal black. And the texture is really intense on all of these Bison. We purposefully cut some of the most dramatic ones for this drop, as you can see on this Bugs Moran. Now, if you look at the color, you'll notice that the peaks of the texture, the tops of the peaks, are a little bit darker and more of a straightforward black, but those tones underneath are a little bit more of that charcoal gray. So it's got a really nice depth of color on a black that we don't normally see. The other thing that's amazing about this new Yellowstone Bison from Horween is it's veg tan leather. A lot of people think veg tan is better than chrome tan. It's not necessarily the case, but it seems like a lot of people like that set of words. There's another set of words in here that people like, full grain. So this is a full grain Bison that is veg tan and it's got a really tough top. So this is a very resilient leather tannage. Now let's go into the other pieces. We have the Capone Money Clip also in this brand new American Bison. All of the hides are sourced from North America. That could be Canada or the United States. And when people think of Bison, they probably think of this texture. Now, that's not always the case. This is a little bit more on the extreme side of what Bison looks like for the grain appearance. The tannery has purposely shrunken the top layer of the grain a little bit more quickly than all the fibers below. So you get this sort of puckered up textured look that I think is really cool, and it really accentuates the natural character of the Bison. On the Capone Money Clip, we have 2 card slots on the exterior. Those are my favorite part of this design, and that's just for the quick access and the ease of use. Those are the ones that I use most often. And then the cards on the inside, I use a little bit less frequently, something like a health insurance card. And of course, being a money clip, we do have the clip on the inside center. This will hold even a single bill very tightly in place. And let's move on to the Fat Herbie also in this American Bison. Again, the tannage is called Yellowstone from Horween. We've done a couple other colors of this in the past, including blue, but I'm really drawn towards this charcoal black shade, especially because of the gray tones on the valleys of the texture. It's a really neat effect. I'm truly hoping that the color depth shows through properly in the video here. The other thing about this Yellowstone from Horween is it's got a really bright shine to it that I very much like, and that's because of the top coat that they have applied to the surface of the grain. It gives it a bright, shiny luster, but it's also very resilient. Whatever material they're using in that top makes it pretty scratch resistant. Let's keep it going into the Bourbon. So this is a Bugs Moran in that Bourbon Bison. Similar effect here with a dramatic grain character, lots of figuring going on in the leather. But the difference in this color, it's kind of similar to the black, but instead this time we've got a darker brown on the surface with a little bit more of like a caramel underneath. This is the color that we're calling Bourbon. If you take a look at the edges of the wallet, we've done a nice hand-stained edge for this to match the color of that Bourbon on the exterior. We've also done the same thing on the black. Bugs Moran's a really good minimalist option for people that just want to carry a couple cards, maybe in your front pocket. Another option for minimalists is the Capone Money Clip. I think this is our second most popular wallet style here, and the Bugs is the third. We're trying to get more leather into more people's hands so you can experience this stuff for yourself. So we're trying to make these recent drops of different colors and textures, different leather tannages, a little bit more accessible into our popular style. So that's why we've got the Capone here. Check out the figuring on the grain here. It's a really intense character. And I love to see the Bison in a bit of a larger context. So the Fat Herbie here does a great job of showing off that range of texture because we just have more context to play with. And it's sure amazing to see on a fat Herbie. You can even see on this specific piece a range of the coarseness and fineness. So it gets a little bit more coarse on this side, a little bit finer on the other. And if you look at the inside, like I said, we tried to pick and cut the most dramatic texture possible for all of these wallets. So in the future, they might not be this extreme. For this batch, they are all pretty similar to this one. Now let's take a look at some one-offs. This is a rare shell cordovan color that we don't often see. Sometimes I confuse this for color 4 or even a darker whiskey shade. It's a little bit less red than color 4 and significantly darker than whiskey. This is a color that Horween calls Armagnac, and it's a really nice medium to dark brown. And this is our lucky card holder. I'm presenting it this way because we've done a few versions of the lucky card holder. This one has an open slot on the long side, or on some of the other lucky card holders, we've done something called the skip stitch. This one's slightly different. We have only one large opening here, but we have the vertical card slots both on the front and on the back. And here's an incredible piece, another version of the lucky card holder here in psychedelic shell cordovan. This one has a bunch of colors, sort of yellow, blue, green, orange, and red. It's a really striking piece. And then we've done something special for the stitching. This is called the candy cane hand stitch. So we alternate the color in the stitching, as you can see all along the edges of this wallet. I was talking about the lucky card holder having some variations. This is one of those variations. This is what we call the skip stitch. And the skip stitch is only stitched on two edges of the wallet. So we have one large open side that allows extra easy access for cards or cash on the interior. And then for cards, we have two card slots on the front, as well as two card slots on the back. And here's another psychedelic piece. We've started calling these psychedelic pieces just psychedelic because there's such a wild range of colors and they're all unique. And whatever you order will be exactly the one you get. Let me show you the Horween ink stamp on the back of this Vic snap wallet. Now the Vic snap wallet we designed originally as a coin pouch from requests from a lot of our Japanese customers. But we've also noticed it works really well as a card holder. So this is a great choice if you want a little bit of an extra secure closure with that snap on the front. Let's just linger on the look of this psychedelic for a bit. It's really dramatic, especially in person, depending on what angle you look at it. More or less of these red, orange, green colors come out, and it's a really special thing to experience. Rounding it off, one last piece, we've got our BLK Lighter and lighter sheath. This is in black shell cordovan. We also have a blue hand stitching along the edges of this lighter sheath and a black hand stained edge. And then one last detail, this one has a gold foil stamp. We've noticed a lot of people want smaller pieces of less expensive cordovan items. So we've been trying to introduce more and more of these lighter sheaths into the private stock drops. So we thought it'd be great to include one of them for you today. I'm gonna go back to the Bison. This is a really special leather. And I certainly hope that the way I'm presenting it here on the camera do it justice, because in person, this is some of the nicest leather that I've ever seen. And all the credit should go over to the hardworking folks across the street here at Horween Leather Company, making incredible new stuff. What I love about seeing this Yellowstone product, as well as that new Aspen leather, is it really seems like even after 120 years, Horween has not lost their touch, and they're still able to not only do the classics like shell cordovan and chromoxol, but they're introducing some new leathers into the world that I think are going to be new classics. So I'm really excited and heartened to see these new leathers from Horween being so special and yet different at the same time from what they normally do. It's a really good sign for the future of leather, and I can't wait for you guys to get this in your hands and experience for yourself. Check out the Bison, all the other private stock stuff on the private stock tab of our website, ashlandleather.com. We've got more stuff coming for the holidays here as we get closer and closer to Thanksgiving. Can't wait to show you that next stuff. And until next time, hope you have a good one and take care.